Hello, my people, my beautiful, beautiful humans. It's me, Kirsten, and this is the It's Giving Mystical podcast. And this is your podcast for the week ahead, the week of September 12th. So eclipse season, right? Right? How's that going? How's everyone's experience of that been? The message that came through on the podcast last week, the thing that really rang in my head was your choices are so precious right now. And that doesn't mean that they're precious like delicate or unimportant. It means the small ones matter. Even the small choices matter. I'll tell you my little eclipse story from Friday. I had a meeting scheduled with someone that I've known for a long time, and something happened at the start of the meeting that set me aback. Like I just had like a really, really strong reaction to it, and a much bigger reaction in my body than was warranted by the situation. So like a tiny thing that happened that at 99 times out of 100, I would have missed it completely even. I would have just accommodated it. And something about this dynamic really pulled me up short. And so in my full-blooded body panic, was clear enough to say, wait, wait, stop, pause. I need a minute. Something doesn't feel right here. So I paused the meeting and I just had my experience of what I was experiencing. And it was very eclipsy. There were tears, there was like heartache, there was so much emotion in it. And as I was experiencing that, I was also witnessing myself experiencing that and being like, it's so interesting. I wonder what's happening. I wonder what it is that this tiny interaction is opening up this incredible coil of energy in your system. And I came to understanding and came to clarity around that. And then I reached back out to the person and said, okay, I'm clear. I'm sorry that I freaked out, because it was like when the kids say crashing out, that's what it felt like in my body. And we had a conversation and we clarified what had happened. And I was vulnerable and said, this is what I'm experiencing. And their response was beautiful. And we made peace. And then this whole thing kind of unraveled in my system over the weekend because of that. And I tell you this kind of vague, boring story about my eclipse experience because what I realized in that moment was, again, 99% of the time, 99.9% of the time, I would have just bypassed my discomfort. Whether it was bigger or smaller, I would have just said, it's fine. Like I would have just been accommodating. But my work over the past years has been to not bypass my nervous system, to not negate what I need, negate what feels safe and good and right and true to me. I teach that all the time. You got to practice what you preach. And I felt that reaction happening in my body. And instead of bypassing it, which I so easily could have done, I said, pause. I didn't even say no. I didn't say yes. I just said, wait, exactly what I've been telling you guys. Like, I don't know what's going on, but something needs to pause. I'm not clear enough to be in the space. I didn't realize how much that meant. It's like my nervous system was waiting for me to attune to it, to hear it, to honor it, and to pause. And then all of this stuff came unbound. And was it cathartic? And was it very eclipsy? And was it very emotional? Yes. Am I so grateful for that experience? So deeply grateful for that experience? Because, as we all know, bound up in that emotion, me holding that in like a little lock pin away in my system is binding my energy. It's keeping me from my own energy, from my own life force, my own vitality, my own chi. So on the other side of that, A, I got a lot of clarity. It felt so good. But B, I felt, oh my God, I'm back. Like I felt like this huge part of me that had been locked away was back online. And it all came from that tiny moment that I could have just skipped over, could have missed. And that's what I mean about your choices are precious. It means when I say we're in the space of you don't need to know, you follow your true yes, you follow your true no, and everything in between, give yourself so much spaciousness, so much time and care and attention and patience with. Because even that saying of, I don't know, I'm not sure, not yet, like that pausing, it like puts a steady hand on the skittish horse of your soul. And that's sometimes what we need to reassure ourselves. Yeah, the world's crazy, lots going on, exciting, headlines, please stay away from me. And okay, so what do I need in this moment? Am I a safe place for myself? Can I be the most resourced, grounded, fully empowered version of myself? And it's going to come down to these small choices. It's not the high drama. Like there's all these high dramas that we can get ourselves sucked into when the work right now is Virgo work. It's precision work. It's small detail work. It's small choice work. Because I hope that gave you enough information or enough illustration to see what I'm talking about. Personally, I'm so grateful for that message coming through, because I don't know if I hadn't channeled that to you guys, if I would have even been able to heard it, and I would have been able to let myself go into the emotional experience I had, but then also witness myself in it and have so much compassion, and then also be so proud of myself for my ability to say, oh, wait, pause, wait. I sound like one of those crosswalks. Wait. But that's what it felt like my whole system shaking the walls, being like, girl, this is not okay. And me being like, you know what? I believe you. I trust you. I can pause here. I can let myself take some time with this choice. So the choices are precious. Be good to yourself in this moment. The eclipse is shaking so much stuff loose. It really feels like there are just things that cannot come with us into the next chapters. And that stuff is getting clarified. And it might be getting clarified in one way in my life, another way in your life. But there is these old identities. The other thing that came up, this is something Nina and I are actually going to do like a full podcast on it, because we're a little bit obsessed about it. And I'll save the story time on it for another time. But there's something called an egregore. And it's the idea of an egregore is a psycho-spiritual concept of an energy being. And the energy being is created by two or more people gathering energy together, like building momentum around an idea or a feeling together. So when you go to a workout class, when you go to your church, when you go to a women's circle, when you go to a political rally, that group is building an egregore. And that egregore is an entity that's built from the energy, but then becomes its own energetic being. And it influences the people in the group. So the idea itself is neutral, but it has an energy pull to it, and it has an agenda to it. So you can build egregores with people that encourage you to be really healthy and do good things for yourself and take good care of yourself. You can build egregores and feed egregores around old communities that you're not even part of anymore, but you never detached from. And so there's something about that that's very highlighted during this eclipse season, because it's directly related with who are you now? Who are you now? What groups are you a part of? What are you putting your energy towards? What matters to you? What kind of world are you building right now with your energy, your time, your precious, precious life force, your precious, precious vitality, and your fucking precious attention? Like who, what, where gets your attention? And the egregores that you have committed to, connected to, want part of your attention. And so part of your work in this eclipse season is seeing where you're attached to old ideas, communities, roles, connections that just don't serve you. It's just not aligned with you, doesn't nourish you in return, doesn't help you step towards the best possible version of life, of living, of yourself. So we're going to talk, Nina and I are going to talk more about that, because it came up in some pretty dramatic ways for both of us during this eclipse season, and it has very real implications for the world we're living in. An egregore thrives off of energy. So whether that energy is good or bad, it doesn't matter. It's feeding off of energy. And so you want to really be thoughtful and take accountability for where your energy is going and who you're sharing it with, and what energy bodies you feed with your, again, precious life force. These are the things that have been on my heart, and I'm sure if it's on my mind and it's coming up here now, it's something that maybe you needed to hear, or maybe needed to be witnessed or prefaced for you wherever you are in your journey. And then where were we last week? Yeah, that idea of the choices being precious, that idea of the choices mattering. And then this week, listen, I pulled the Tower card. I was very hesitant to share that with everyone, because I don't want anyone panicking about the Tower card. We all know better by now than to panic about the Tower card. And we are human, and we are in this time of deep transformation, and it's eclipse season, and we're probably feeling pretty unsteady and unsure in some fundamental ways. So the Tower doesn't exactly reek of reassurance right now. And so I was hesitant to share that with you. So in full disclosure, I went back to the deck and I pulled 3 more cards. They were all major arcana cards. So like my guides, the channel, the source was kind of like, Kirsten, sit down and do the work. And the work is this week matters. That's the work. Like the news flash, the news headline is that this week matters. Something fundamental is settling into place this week. Okay, because it's the Tower, something fundamental is probably falling away this week. Maybe you already have a sense of what that is. Maybe in the best scenarios, those egregores that are coming into the field for me and Nina are maybe also coming into the field for you. And you're like, holy smokes, I've been committed to the energetics of this family or this mythology or this culture or this community or this belief system. And that's been ruling my life. Like I've let that determine where I'm going, what I'm doing. And hell no, I'm not going to do that anymore. No more of that. That's a beautiful expression of the Tower. The tear it all down, rip it all down, free yourself, liberate yourself. That is one of the most beautiful expressions of the Tower. And that's definitely here. So when we surf this eclipse season, when we kind of work with the energy, again, we remember that this is happening in the smallest choices. Like it's happening in the choice to put yourself to bed instead of watching more news or TV or headlines or doom scrolling, right? It's happening in the choice to pause a conversation that doesn't feel safe. It's happening into saying to someone, I'm not okay with what's going on here. I need to talk to you. I need to figure this out. It's not connecting with or feeding into energetics around communities that don't serve you anymore. It's spending a minute to catch your breath when you're feeling unsure, unregulated. Tuning into your yes and no. It's these tiny movements, these little micro movements they're dominoes. You never know when the tiny micro movement, the tiny act of devotion to yourself is going to be the thing that like blows it all out, opens up whole new timelines and whole new doorways that you wouldn't have been able to access if you had just kind of been on autopilot. So that's here with the Tower, and we got to say it, we got to live it, we got to experience it. But if we're riding the wave of this eclipse season, there's a good chance that you're going to have awareness around the stories and the communities that have a grip on you and have been maybe moving you in one direction or another without your full conscious awareness. When that comes into consciousness, you get to choose then. Oh, okay, this is something I'm aligned to. This is something I believe in. This is something I want to feed my energy into. This is not. And so I have to put it away. I have to say goodbye to it. That's going to feel good. Destabilizing again, yes. Liberating, yes. And I would take the liberation any day because we'll find the stability. If we're staying with ourselves, we're staying with our breath, we're staying with the present moment. If we trust ourselves, then yeah, we might get tumbled around in the wash a little bit, but when we land on our feet, we're going to know what to do next. We can trust ourselves to respond. We can trust ourselves to be awake and aware of whatever is here in our field. The other thing to remember about the Tower is that the Tower is the ego structure we build, right? So the world is a wild, wide, wondrous place. And one of the ways we survive that is we build a personal narrative. This is a sense of self, a sense of ego. I'm Kirsten. This is what I do. This is who I am. This is what I'm aligned to. This is what I value. This is what I believe in. This is what I'm working towards. This is what my art looks like. This is what my medicine looks like. Like even in the best ways, that's still an ego structure. And we create that partially because the world is too vast. And the only way we can exist in it without our mind short-circuiting, again, that would be enlightenment when you're fully aware and open to the present moment. But most of us haven't quite gotten there yet, right? Maybe, we'll see. Maybe you're there. Congratulations. Tell me how it is. But this idea of the ego structure being something I created, not because I'm weak or not because I got nothing to do. I do it so that I can learn how to feel my life force energy and learn how to express it. The walls give me a sense of safety. The walls give me a sense of containment. They give me a sense of, okay, so there's an inside here, there's a what's happening here, and there's an out there, and they're not the same. And I have a handle on this little domain, this little kingdom of mine. When the Tower card comes up, that's being challenged. The best possible way of that being challenged is I have limited myself because I have a sense of who I am and what I'm capable of. And again, like what my strengths and weaknesses are, that is based on my sense of self, my history, my trauma, my nervous system, what it's capable of. I'm going to have a hard time expanding those walls sometimes. This is the classic conversation around receiving, right? How they say, yeah, you wish for all these things, but when they start to come to your door, you're like, ooh, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I have capacity to receive that within these walls I've built. So the Tower card coming is, okay, so if you can receive more, if you can be more, if you can express more, and these Tower walls are holding you back, knock that shit down. That's what the Tower card says. The Tower card says, you are lightning in form. You are a human. You are pure love, having an experience of this material plane. Sometimes we need to kind of knock down the gates to get more space so we can receive more, so we can express more, so we can exist more broadly, brightly, fully. Okay, so that's part of the Tower as well. And then the less easy version, or less easy explanation of what's happening with the Tower is that some kind of structures are going to get shaken up this week. And it feels right on time. I have a sense that something's happening, and is this happening globally or more personally? I don't know, but there's something here that is going to shake the walls a little bit, shake the foundations, shake the boundary line a little bit. And I think, I hope, I feel that part of your work is to recognize that the world is asking you to receive more and to take up more space. And to do that, it's gonna reshuffle some hard lines, some boundary walls that you thought maybe were pretty concrete or pretty set in stone. And okay, all right, so if we feel that coming, if we know that's coming, what do? We lean on our practices. We come back to our breath. We really protect ourselves with what we can control in terms of how do I feel safe? How do I feel steady? How do I feel like I have what I need? Where's my community? Who do I lean on? What do I lean on? And we just become aware, and we become very tender with that. We don't take that for granted. We don't take a good night's sleep for granted. We don't take the pause and the ability to breathe and the ability to re-regulate and the ability to catch ourselves and the ability to lean on others and the ability to take comfort from people we love. We don't take any of that for granted. If you feel shooketh by this Tower energy this week, I encourage you to be brave about being vulnerable, to be brave about needing help and needing support. When we are watching the walls shudder a little bit, it would behoove us to build scaffolding to keep us feeling safe and steady until the storm passes. And so what does that scaffolding look like? It is going to look like building structures wider than you. It's going to look like, well, who do I lean on and what needs to lean on me and how do I stay resourced? So it's interesting because the energy feels both big and important, and also they're kind of like, this happened to me before, this kind of like gritting my teeth with excitement that is also, it's so much that it makes me nervous, but it's not like the thing happening makes me nervous. It's like the potential or the curiosity is so big that I grit my teeth a little bit around it. Don't hold your breath, because I just felt myself really holding my breath. Don't hold your breath this week. And again, take that with you. Choice is precious. Take with you the energy of September. We're moving through the Hermit and we're moving through the Moon. We want to have our cloak. We want to have our staff. We want to have our lantern. Am I ready to enter the dark, rainy woods? Do I have what I need? Do I have some snacks in my backpack? Am I ready? And then where are my guides? Like, where are the animal spirit protectors? Where are the ancestors? Where is my maternal line? Grandmother, bless me. My stepmom sent me this thing on menopause, and it was some scientist talking about, I think it's elephants, whales, humans are the only species that has menopause, that like periods stop. And he does this whole interesting thing about how the reason that we have menopause is because as humans, we needed grandmothers. And he says, not grandfathers as much, although they're important, but grandmothers, after menopause, you live another 25 years. Men don't quite live as long. And there's something about this idea of the wisdom of the grandmothers is something that needed to be passed along. And that childbirth itself is such a dangerous undertaking that women needed to be protected from the ability to give birth and still exist and still share wisdom and still be guides in the world. So again, this whole conversation around perimenopause, menopause just gets more and more interesting the more attention we bring to it. But there is something about calling on the wisdom of the grandmothers. There's a reason why we have grandmothers, grandmother spider, grandmother in our ancestor line, wherever the grandmothers exist for you, the crone, the sage, the hermit and the crone are, two sides of the same coin. The wise version of you, the elders and the wise ones that you surround yourself with or that you pray to, they're with you. The moon is a nonlinear time. It is not, again, like not moving in a straight line. So the tower energy might be a recalibration that's quite necessary. And there's a part of me that's, okay, be careful, but there's a part of me that's, man, you could take off. Like you could hit new heights. This could be something you've really been praying for. This could be the arrival of the thing that you said you really wanted. That could be happening this week. So it's the card of Kundalini awakening. And I also, the last thing I'm going to say, and then I'll wrap up this kind of chatty podcast, is that one of the messages I got recently in a Reiki session I was giving to someone was that the next generation of healers is waking up. And so there was the forefront people like me and Maddie and Nina and Mimi and all these women who were like, I guess I'm going to go be a healer. I guess I'm going to go learn how to work with energy and work with myself and take care of myself and then pass that wisdom along, pass that energy along, pass that possibility along. And all the women who are with me, I'm very blessed. I work with women who are powerful healers and artists and wise ones in their own right. And I saw that this like next generation, and I saw a lot of men. I saw a lot of men coming into energy, not to become practitioners or healers per se, but to wake up to their own power, to wake up to their own possibility. And I think that's here. And that's cool. And that's Tower. That's some bro that just being like, hey, I think I'm going to go check out Reiki. Like, I think I'm going to go take a breathwork class. Whatever the doorway in is, it's valuable if it helps you be more human, like live here with a clearer, more activated, more empowered heart. So, okay, Tower, listen, you take good care. You don't worry. If this is worrying you, then you just say, oh, Kirsten must have made a mistake and I'm okay. Don't worry about it. But eyes wide open to the fact that you are bigger than you have been. We all are. And so maybe there's something about this eclipse season that's trying to crumble away the old stuff and create a structure that you can actually live more comfortably within. And that might take some wall rattling. That might take some clumsy moments or some surprising moments, like what happened to me when I was like, can we pause? And then my whole body freaked out. Okay, all right, I survived it. You will survive it. And always, always, always with tarot and with life, on the other side is more freedom, more liberation, and more ability to connect with love. And that's never, ever a mistake. So aho, and so much love to you, and keep me posted. And if you need scaffolding or support, I'm here because I love each and every one of you. And if anything, I am so down for living, down for life, down for being here. Yay, life. Bye.